And then all of a sudden I heard him like run up behind me, and I didn't even have time to react, and he like grabbed me from behind and like covered my mouth and like
scary, like,
right? Hey guys, welcome to TCT time! Yay! So today we're back in the studio and we've got a great group of people today. We've got Elsa,
hi,
Jake,
hello,
and Paris.
hey guys,
and me, Shizuka, as usual. Before we start today though, I have a personal recommendation. We're not sponsored by this, even though that would be awesome. I found these new espresso flavored Kinoko no Yama, which are like a really classic chocolate in Japan.
Does that mean Mushroom Mountain?
Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
Mushrooms of the mountain.
Or Mushroom Mountain would be another translation. Japanese is hard sometimes. It's hard sometimes, but these are a really classic snack, and they have an espresso flavor, and they're amazing. Like, I really love them. So I wanted you guys to try them. So eat some chocolate.
The hype is real now.
Smells good.
It's like slightly like sweet and like a hint of like salt.
It's like you're drinking coffee. It's literally like you're drinking coffee. It tastes so good.
It's delicious.
And it I can smell the
Wait,
coffee.
it's not a lollipop?
That was a lollipop?
Are you gonna lick it?
Alright, I'm gonna get really red right now.
Way to go. Anyway, today's topic has nothing to do with mushrooms, and it's more to do with how safe Japan is. As everybody knows around the world, Japan is one of the safest countries to live in and travel in. You can do pretty much anything here. You can see people passed out on the streets after drinking too much. They'll be fine.
Sometimes, yeah.
Should be a meltdown.
Shibuya Meltdown.
Oh my god.
If you don't know, it's a great Instagram account just featuring people who've fallen asleep on the streets.
It
or
happens.
passed out
It
in
happens.
Yeah.
Pretty often. Yeah.
Like yesterday.
Yeah,
Yesterday
almost
was
every
Monday
day.
night, and I saw someone like passed out on the floor of the train.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh wow.
And sadly headed to Otsuki, which is in Yamanashi Prefecture.
Oh my
That's
god.
so far.
It's one of those special trains that goes extra far. It normally ends at like Takao Station.
No.
And I was like, I don't know if I should wake him up. Like, is he going there? I don't know. He probably wouldn't wake up even if I tried to wake him up.
Oh my
It's his strategy. He
gosh.
actually doesn't like the ride. He just does it on purpose. He's going there on purpose. He is going there.
Oh my god.
Going
Takes the
there.
long
That's
ride.
crazy.
Just curling up on the floor. It
Yeah.
happens any day of the week. It's crazy.
Yeah, I saw a few people sleeping actually like together in Shinjuku. They were like,
On the
Aw.
street?
yeah, it was in Shinjuku. I took
It's
a
kind of
Snapchat.
romantic though.
They were like sleeping and there was a blanket over them too. And they were really
Aw.
drunk and I was like, what the heck?
Where did they get the blanket?
I don't know, maybe like some like shop person, or like I was gonna say tenny, some person saw them and was like, oh, I'm gonna like put a blanket on them.
Nice.
And when does a shop ever have an extra blanket
don't
to like
For drunk people.
Maybe.
Blanket drops.
Japanese hospitality?
Yeah.
Did you say omotenashi?
Yeah.
But that's how safe Japan is. Like, you can do that, and for the most part, you'll be completely fine.
Definitely.
Yes. Did you guys have any moments where you really felt like, oh, Tokyo is like the safest place ever? Like something that was super different from where you're from?
Definitely. A ton. Like, for example, the first time I came here, like 4 years ago, one girl in Starbucks like just used like her brand new iPhone to say, I'm sitting here, and went to order and just left the iPhone like shiny and new there. And I was like, are you doing like, okay. I'm not gonna say anything. And then like she got her coffee, and I was like looking at the phone like, don't worry, girl, I got you. Your phone is not going anywhere.
I'm watching it for you.
Don't worry, girl. And like she came with the coffee and like took her phone, and I was like, okay, this is like another different dimension I don't know anything about. I was really impressed.
It is like a different dimension if you think about it. Like, this is like the dimension where, like, I don't know, just the world is such a peaceful place. No one's ever gonna steal your stuff, no matter how expensive it is.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
It's so great.
I think I just like, for me, I have this IRL like backpack, like the backpack I used to live stream on, and it's like, it's a couple $1,000s of equipment, right? And when I go to the bathroom a lot, people are like, what do you do with the backpack? And I used to like, have a way to. I know it's more about that later. I still have a way where I can bring my stream into the bathroom, like it's a joke, but it's not. But no, like I'll like if it's like a department store, or like even a subway station, like I've just like left it outside, like facing the wall or whatever, just like left it outside of the bathroom for like, you know, depending on what I'm
However
doing,
long
maybe a
it
few minutes
takes.
and more than a few minutes. And
Oh my
I mean, like I felt comfortable here. I've traveled around a lot and live streamed in other countries. I don't feel as comfortable like leave with a friend on purpose or like find somewhere where I know someone's watching it. That's just like my example. I always feel safe that way in general, other than just like that's like my personal experience of always feeling safe that I always have to deal with every day when I do go to the bathroom.
Right, but it's amazing that works. Like you've done this multiple times, left your expensive equipment outside of the bathroom.
Yeah, I think maybe one time we've had someone be like, "Oh my God, this is some expensive equipment. Whose is it? We gotta find who it is." Like when I come outside, they're like, "Is this yours?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's mine."
And the Japanese person was saying?
Yeah.
So they were like concerned. Someone might take it.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, we gotta take care of it."
Yeah.
Wow. But it's only in Japan that you could do that. I don't think there's actually any other country in the world where you could leave expensive stuff outside.
I can't think of anywhere like that, like at all.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
In Europe, I cannot think about like any city I would be super comfortable doing that if I was not with like a ton of friends looking at my bag or something.
Right?
Yeah.
No, definitely, it's really, really safe. But it's so easy to get used to it too. Like, like I'm just leaving stuff all over the place, and when my Spanish friends come, they are like, "What are you doing? Take your stuff," and I'm like,
It's fine.
Totally
It's
fine.
alright.
Yeah,
I
I think for me, when I walk at home, or I walk home at night, I always notice that it's so much safer.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
like
good.
it
So
just
nice.
feels safer. Like no one pays
So
attention to me. Like I can just walk home if I'm drunk, if I'm sober. Like even if it's 11 p.m. or 12 p.m. the last train, I feel like no one pays attention to me.
Yeah.
And it just feels safe.
Yeah.
It does.
It's so different. Yeah.
like no one's gonna be like catcalling you.
no, I don't think I've ever been catcalled here. I
Yeah,
think
me
maybe.
neither.
I don't think it happens in Japan. It's not really part of the.
That's another Tokyo tea time talk to group.
Yeah.
They don't catcall. They just go, "Hey, where you going?"
Yeah, like exactly. They come directly
Exactly.
up to me and they'll just say hello or something, but no
Yeah.
one's ever like, "Hey," like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
never happened, so I don't feel scared.
I think catcalling is not really like the Japanese way, but they will
No.
they will approach
They'll
you.
approach you.
yeah.
But catcalling, I think, feels scarier because it's like they're driving away or like they're kind of far away.
Or they're
Or they're
shouting
behind
at
you and they're just like shouting. And then if
Yeah.
you don't respond, sometimes they like shout again.
Yeah.
Louder. Or, like,
That's
They get
why I
angry
work.
sometimes.
yeah, they get angry. So
Mhm.
thankfully that doesn't really happen here.
Yeah, it's very true.
Mm.
So in general, like walking home is way safer.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean,
Yeah.
guns aren't a thing in Japan. Like I mean,
I
they
think
Well, those are
somewhere
shooting in
Japan.
Kawasaki and like Shinjuku like a month or two
Yes.
ago,
There's one in
right?
Shinjuku,
Yeah.
yeah, Kabukicho.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
feel like even in those cases they don't go like for little girls coming home back, like
Yeah.
coming back home in the evening. They
Mhm.
have their businesses they want to.
I think that's
Deal
what it
with-
seems more like. Like they just
Yeah.
have their own isolated event.
Yeah.
And or not event, but
Yeah, but like,
situation, yeah.
it's kind of like separated from.
Yeah, whereas in other countries it's just kind of random.
Yeah, everywhere.
Yes, it's just who knows, you know.
right.
Yeah.
So
That's
that's
true. Like you
the
can even
inside.
walk down like through Shinjuku, like
Mhm.
through Kabukicho at 3 a.m. like, and people are like, "Oh, it's not safe whenever," but
Is
actually,
that the area that they are all?
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Yeah,
Oh.
they say so, right?
Kabukicho.
I knew it was like the dangerous area, but like for me, it doesn't feel dangerous because I'm from
Yeah.
LA. So like,
Mhm.
yeah,
It
it's,
just
yeah. So that's
kinda-
how I feel. Like I walk
just
around,
feels
like
normal.
I feel pretty safe
Yeah.
right now. Like,
Yeah,
but
it's fine.
it depends how you interact, right? As long as you're not going around causing trouble or like pushing the
Yeah.
wrong guy, but keep to yourself. Like
And just,
people
like,
also
walk
keep to
through.
themselves.
Right.
Where like if I was
Fine.
in LA walking through the wrong spot, they might be like, "Yo, man, where you?"
They
Like
come up
they
to
would
you.
aggressively approach me, and
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Oh, my bad." Like I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna just get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's,
that's
it's
so
scary.
scary.
No, and it's like that though.
Cool.
You can't just walk or even drive through certain areas in LA. Like people will come up to your cars and
Really?
yeah, like Compton. It's like I haven't experienced that, but I've heard of it. Like people driving through and just getting to a stop sign and like people like surround their car.
Ooh.
And I'm like, okay, that's a really scary. So here it doesn't feel. There's no area that really feels like that level
no.
of dangerous. Like Kabukicho is like the most dangerous area.
Mhm.
But I went there like last week and it was
Yeah,
fine.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
lit,
like,
fam.
Yeah, it was lit. That's where the two
Sorry.
people were sleeping.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
with the
cuddling.
blanket on.
Yeah, that was in
Blanket.
Kabukicho.
Yeah, no, Kabukicho is like in general, it's very safe. You can party there till morning. Like there's really nothing to worry about. But Kabukicho is like primarily pretty much run by underground gangs.
Oh, okay.
Like from the outside, it'll seem like a normal establishment or normal business, but it's all kind of, there's underground workings going on all throughout Shinjuku.
So you have to be careful, because I've heard that sometimes people have gotten brought into clubs or something by like the people who are standing outside, and then they end up getting charged like $5,000 for like 2 drinks. And that happened to, it was a student from my school. Yeah. So our school would always tell us this story. Like, don't just go into random bars and stuff because it happened to the student and then there was nothing they could do. So he had to pay it.
No.
Because they were like, it's not illegal to do that. Like, you can't call the cops. But he got charged like a lot and couldn't really afford it. So he had to put it on a credit card.
Wow.
But like, they didn't let him leave. So
right, I heard a similar case. You might have a story too, but like it was the same thing. But it was a guy, a friend of a friend, and he went to one of those bars. He got kind of convinced to go into in Kabukicho, and I don't know if they might have gotten him drunk, or I'm not sure if they may have even drugged him, but he like passed out.
No.
And when he woke up, they were like charging him like thousands of dollars. And he had no proof that like he hadn't spent that money either, because like he passed out, maybe he drank too much, and they're like, you have to pay this money. And so he had to pay it, or like they might have even like automatically charged it, like taken his credit card and charged it, and they're like
so you just have to be careful. I mean, don't go into random places or bars that you don't know of in Kabukicho.
Exactly.
There, or like Roppongi has the same type of like just be smart. That's not really a safety thing. It can be, but just like, don't get lured down to those places, because
right.
There's a lot of places like that.
You can get scammed in those areas. Yep, Roppongi area, Kabukicho area. But other than that, like there's really nothing you have to worry about. Like the honor system is very, very, very prevalent all throughout Tokyo. So there's even cases where I imagine that they, like, you know how they often in like stores, they'll have the products like outside sometimes? Like that's also like an honor system thing. They expect that nobody is ever gonna take it because that's part of the store. So that's part of like how safe Japan is as well.
A lot of stores don't have those. A lot of stores don't have the like metal detectors or whatever. In the US, like almost, I think every single store has something. When you walk out, it'll beep.
Little tag.
But here I noticed that almost none of the clothes have a sensor. Like none of the clothes have
I've never noticed that. Now I realize that.
They don't.
Wow, that's true.
And there's like, it doesn't beep if you just were like, all right, I'm gonna take all this stuff. Don't do that. But like, there's nothing, I guess, stopping people. They just kind of assume that people are not gonna do that. So
very, very true.
There's a story like in my neighborhood that like has all the goods outside, and then when night comes, they just put like a cute like clear cloth on top of the products, and they sit there all night.
Nice.
And I remember when I was like at first I was like, this is not gonna last a night. Come on, people, this is gonna get stolen right now. And like, no, it didn't. Like like her system still works. Things are still there.
So true.
And I'm like, okay.
I didn't even think about that. There's so many stores that have so much outside. I've just gotten used to it. Like even in my area, there's like a store that has like, they put almost everything outside, and there's no like worker out there. So anyone, I guess they could just walk by and like grab something if they wanted to.
Think about how did you do like Takashita Street? The whole street is just like stuff on the floor, like on the right and left side, all the shoes, all the clothes, and all the hats.
That's right.
It's so true.
There's a lot of people that like anyone could just boop. Don't do that, you mother trucker.
Don't do
I know. We're like,
we might be planting some ideas in people's heads, but
well, I feel like you don't want to get arrested in Japan though.
No, there's stories from hell.
Like
from
if you did steal something, like you don't want to be in a foreign country getting arrested, because that's like way worse thing that happening in your own country.
Also the Nissan case right now. Following that, the head of Nissan, Carlos Ghosn. He got arrested for. I mean, I haven't been following the news too much, but like
but it was like he got like put away, I don't know how long, like for a month or so. Like the thing is, if you get arrested here, they have a right to like just like the police can take you for I think like more than 2 days and not tell anyone. They have literally no obligation to tell anyone. So if I got arrested, I would just disappear from the face of earth, and my husband, for example, wouldn't know anything until I sort it out or they leave me out. Which is the first thing when you got arrested, like not the first, but you can tell people that hey, I'm arrested, I messed up.
Right.
But here it's like
No.
they can tell you not to like remove this right that you think you had.
Yeah.
So it's very scary,
Yeah,
especially if you don't know
really
Japanese.
scary. And a lot of people
Very.
like you can get banned from Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Deported for
one of
ever.
the
Deported.
one of our
I wanna keep
students,
it.
or not our students, but I went to UCLA, and then I forget the basketball player's name, but he stole something from I don't know, like Gucci or some expensive store, and then he got banned from Japan.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
It's not just deported. You literally cannot come back to
Yeah, like he's
Japan.
not supposed to come back now.
That's so true.
Get wrecked.
Wow.
Sorry.
Yeah,
It's
especially if you're a tourist. I think it's
His
worse if you're a
mistake.
tourist
Yeah.
here and you like steal something. Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's the same for drugs too.
Yes, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
If
Like
you're
if you come
caught,
to Japan, don't do it.
Yeah.
don't. Yeah.
Just don't do it.
Yeah, because I feel like there's not as many drugs here. Like most of them are legal. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's. I don't know if that's a safety thing. It's just.
No, like it is what it is.
safer
It helps.
in a way. Yeah.
Like there's fewer people who are under
Like-
the influence of some really extreme drugs and
Also,
like
the
yeah. Like
money
you don't
that
see
it
people on the
eradicates.
streets and stuff. Like in LA, there's like tons of people on the street that are like on drugs. So it's like you don't want to walk through those areas because they might like come up to you or like I don't know, try to give you a hug or something.
Yeah.
That's
To
happened
give
to
you
me.
a hug.
That's happened to me a few times, like in San Francisco.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Gosh.
But here, I don't know. I don't really see homeless people very much, or like just random strangers that like are not in their right state of mind, basically trying to talk to you and stuff.
Definitely. I mean, there are a lot of homeless people in Japan too,
course.
but they're a very different population from like those in North America. They don't tend to have drug problems, and they're very like self-sufficient. They stick to themselves, so they won't be harassing people. They don't beg for money. So in that sense, you don't need to worry about that kind of like safety out on the streets, which is really nice.
It's quality of life in the end.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of people ask me why I'm like, aren't you tired of being in like Japan is so far away? But the quality of life, like being able to walk the dog on the street at night without fear of like being cut cold or worse.
Yes.
It's honestly
Cut cold? What does that mean?
Cat called.
Oh, cat
cold.
cold.
I thought you said
Cold.
cut cold. Yeah, I was like,
I'm thinking
never
about
heard
turkey
of
slices
cold.
like cut
sorry.
cold.
No, it's okay. No, but I was thinking that too because in LA, like that happens all the time. Like someone goes to walk their dog at night and like they get stabbed and someone like steals their phone. Like stuff like that happens.
But on the other hand, like just because people say it's so safe, I think you need to understand that like dangerous things do happen anyway.
Common sense.
Be alert.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
be alert. And especially if you're like a woman in Tokyo, I feel like there's the issue of like sexual harassment and stuff. Like a lot of that happens for women
Chikan.
get groped on the train. Yeah, chikan as we call it.
I almost made a hand motion, but I figured that'd be bad. So
Ew,
I
no.
stopped myself.
Smart. Don't incriminate yourself. But yeah, that kind of thing happens. Women can be like harassed on the street as well when you're like walking home.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever have a problem like that? Like where you felt kind of unsafe walking home
Yes.
at night in Tokyo? You did?
Yeah, that was weird.
Ooh, it's not even the ladies.
Anomaly.
Okay.
It's an outlier, definitely. I was like near Kitasenju, like northern area, when I first moved here, my second month here, living at my friend's house with his family like for a month. And I randomly went outside to live stream at like maybe midnight. I don't know, just kind of walking by myself. I just had my little camera, not even that huge backpack. And I was just kind of walking through the peaceful areas north of Kitasenju. And there's like nobody out really. It was like a small narrow street and I'm streaming and then like I heard this car coming down the street like fast. It was like I could hear like the engine revving. It was honking and it was like swerving. I was like, what the fuck? Like what the hell is this? Like I turned my camera for just a second as it drives by to like stream it and like take a video of it because I'm streaming. It's kind of interesting. So I do that and I go back and then he stops like right there. And I was like joking. I was like, oh guys, look, the car stopped. He's gonna come out and like come after us. And I was like totally joking at this point. And I was like, wait, there's no stop sign. And then he gets out of the car. He's wearing a mask, and then I'm like, oh guys, he got out. He's walking towards us, like still kind of joking, like it's not gonna happen.
So you weren't alone, you were with...
I was by myself.
Oh, you were?
You
Okay.
you were streaming.
I was streaming.
Oh, okay,
So I was with
okay.
the viewers, like talking to the chat.
Yeah.
And
You
he starts
follow
walking toward
witnesses.
us. I was like, guys, now he's like lightly jogging towards me. Like, okay, what the fuck?
Oh,
I'm sorry, cuss, I don't know, but so then I start turning around, I start walking away, I'm keeping my head over my shoulder. Then he starts sprinting, like full sprint, and then he goes, like yelling at me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, at this point, I'm full like life or death sprint. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty fast. Like I was just ran. I knew that there's a police station nearby,
Yeah.
so I actually ran to the police station. It was only like, it was probably like a good 2 minutes straight of sprint. Like it was a little bit away.
Wow.
And the door was open. I went inside and I said like, it's like someone's coming. Like I didn't speak much Japanese at all at that time. And it was like, he send you to police. They didn't speak much English. And they shut the door and like, they kind of got the idea that someone was chasing me. I told them. And then like, I was telling them what happened. I told them I was like making a video and like I have you can see the clip. Like people already made a clip of it.
Yeah.
Which by the way, you can show the clip on this if you want to. You can pull it up on Twitch.
Oh shit! He stopped. What if he reverses? Why did he stop? Oh! They're coming at me! That guy's out of his car! Oh shit! He's coming! He's coming! He's coming, dude! He's legit coming! Dude, this guy's chasing after me! Yo, this guy's legit chasing after me.
What happened was the guy actually drove and came and found, like the guy turned around and drove his car to the police station, parked in front of the police station, came outside, like knocked on the door with his mask on. There was like a girl in the car with a mask on too. And the police like had like the riot stick and like opened the door, made sure he was gonna like attack me and like, cause I was scared. This guy came to me too. Now I'm like, fuck dude, the police are gonna like let him in, he's gonna like kill me. I don't know what's going on. Like I've never felt this way ever in Japan. Anyways, the police went outside, they talked to him and they came back inside. The guy left like all angry. And basically the police said, you shouldn't record, they said you shouldn't be recording someone without them knowing on the street. And I said, dude, I was I told him like I was streaming myself. This guy was obviously breaking the law by how he was driving. Like you can see the clip, but they got mad at me. Maybe I couldn't explain things properly, and you know, I was, but whatever. But anyways, anyways, they drove away. Nothing happened in the end. The police just said like, to be cool. And like when I walked out though, I was like, this guy's like here somewhere. Like,
Oh my gosh. Wait, was the mask like a regular mask or
white
like?
mask.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
But like when he started
scary.
screaming at me with that, oh yeah, that's like super just reminds me of just like, all right, this guy's like
It sounds like
involved with something.
He's gonna.
Oh no.
He means business.
So
Oh
scary.
my gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We're
so-
happy you're still with us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would be so scared. Like I would have sprinted too.
Oh,
I know.
Yeah.
I rarely get into a situation where I feel like fight or flight and like I don't know Japan. I was like, I'm out of here, and I just like.
Good thing the police station was close by.
Man, like, but things like that can, like, that's not a really common thing, but
Oh, no.
like things can happen.
Yeah.
My situation had a camera, like it's different. If you're just walking, you wouldn't have stopped, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you never know. Like some people are also just a little bit weird, and you never know what's gonna make them like,
Yeah.
you know, snap. Exactly. And like just to add one other little thing about like how Japan sometimes isn't safe, like back to like walking home at night. I did have my own experience where like it was the first time where I really felt like maybe Japan isn't actually safe at all. Like I'd heard so many things where, you know, they say, oh, Japan's like so safe, you can, you know, you don't need to worry about anything. But I was walking home at night one time and I was coming back from like my grandparents' house. Like I never expected anything to happen. Walking to the station, it was a bit of a walk, but I was like on a main road and it was well lit. So I thought it was like fine. Other people were walking toward the station as well. But then I noticed like someone was walking behind me, but still far enough that I thought, well, I don't need to worry about it. Like he's probably heading to the station too. And then so I was just like leisurely walking, and then all of a sudden I heard him like run up behind me, and I didn't even have time to react, and he like grabbed me from behind and like covered my mouth and like
Oh, so
yeah,
scary. Like,
right. But the good thing about that situation was like I like tried to push him off and he let go right away, and then he like dashed down an alleyway like sprinting.
Sweet.
So, that was like the scariest moment of my life. Like if he had like a knife, then like I wouldn't have been able to like do anything.
Yeah.
But like I was just lucky that he wasn't like that big of a guy, and he like left me alone as soon as I like reacted. But
It was at night?
it was at night, but it wasn't like, it was like 11 p.m. Like it wasn't like,
But what was he expecting? Like,
right?
you right away react, obviously, because like you're scared, and he's like, oh, okay, sorry, I thought you will like not move at all while I do my like business here.
Like, I
Sorry.
watch this too much
So you wasn't,
TV.
right?
Right,
I
right.
just wonder what his
What goes
intentions were.
I
Like,
know. What did you expect? Like, there's no way I wouldn't like. I didn't even like get a chance to like elbow hammer. I just like literally shoved him off, and he let go.
that's so weird.
It's
Just a
so
crazy
weird.
ass dude. Sounds like.
I mean, thinking back, I assume he might be just like kind of one of those perverts who just wants to like touch a girl.
Oh, yeah.
It might have been.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was still like the
So
scariest
scary.
thing that's ever happened. I
So
never
scary.
thought that would happen in Japan, which is that had never happened to me in Canada where I grew up. So that's why I was like,
What the heck?
is Japan like not as safe as I thought it was? So I think it's like good to know that like things can happen like just on a daily basis. It was 11 p.m. It was night, but it wasn't like that late.
Yeah.
It was still in like a kind of residential neighborhood. And the worst part about that too, though, that still gets me is that there was another person who came walking on the other side of the street, like just after it happened. And I was like screaming after the guy as he was running down the alley. And I was like yelling in English because I didn't know what to say in Japanese. But then I saw this other guy walking across the street, and I like called for help. And then I crossed the street to like ask him to help me because I still wasn't near the station yet. And he ignored me. Like I was saying like sumimasen, and he like pretended he couldn't hear me.
Yeah.
And I was walking up like really close to him, and I like even like tapped him on the shoulder and I said, excuse me, like some guy just attacked me and I'm really scared and I don't know what to do. And he was like, oh, sorry, maybe you could call the police.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, could you at least walk with me to the station? Or like, I don't know, if you had any kind of compassion, you might do that.
Be nice to me.
I know.
I just had a scary experience. Yet be nice. I don't know.
That's the other side of like when you walk home alone, people ignore you. But the other side of that is if you need help, they also ignore you. So not everyone, this is just like generally.
I feel like people don't want to get involved as often. Like, of course, sometimes there's gonna be nice people around, but I think other times there's people who are just like, no, like, I gotta go home, or I gotta do whatever I'm doing.
Yeah.
So,
Generally speaking, they're good. But be alert.
Be alert. Don't have a false sense of security just because everyone says it's like a heaven here.
It's not
where
100% safe. Nowhere's 100% safe. You still have to kind of just know, like, oh, let me, like, be aware of my surroundings and not, like, you have to pay attention a little
Just be careful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wherever you go.
Always be careful. But, you know, in the end, it is safer than most other countries.
Yes.
So that's one thing that you can look forward to. If you come to Japan, you can leave your stuff on the table in like a cafe and nobody is going to take it for the most part. So it is all in all like a really livable place.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And
very safe.
a lot of trust everywhere.
Yeah.
So great, I think really great place to live all in all. Yeah. But I hope you guys learned something from this video as well. And you could take some kind of like interesting information about like safety in Japan. It's super safe, but also like just be aware and be alert because things can happen anywhere you go, pretty much. Yeah, but thank you guys so much. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for
you
this
too.
great discussion. And see you guys in the next TCT time. Have a good rest of the week, I guess. Bye.
Bye.